Aloha, and welcome to the Hawaii Travel Made Easy podcast. I'm Marcie, a Hawaii travel expert who's visited the islands more than 40 times, and my goal is to help you plan an unforgettable, stress-free trip to paradise. Today, we're busting 15 common myths that first-time visitors believe about Hawaii. Some of these might surprise you, and if you're planning your first trip, this episode will help you avoid common misconceptions and travel like a pro. I'll also share a great resource at the end, my Hawaii travel guides and itineraries, which will give you accurate, up-to-date information so you can plan your trip with confidence. So grab a tropical drink, get cozy, and let's jump into these Hawaii myths. Myth number 1, Hawaii is always sun. A lot of people think Hawaii has perfect sunshine all year long, but that's not exactly true. Hawaii has microclimates, meaning you can experience different weather in different areas of the island on the same day. For example, you might be sunbathing in Waikiki, but over on Oahu's North Shore, it could be raining. Maui's Ka'anapali area is typically dry, while Hana is known for its frequent showers. Hilo on the Big Island gets significantly more rain than Kona, even though they're on the same island. If you're planning a beach honeymoon, you'll want to pick areas like Wailea on Maui or the Kohala Coast on the Big Island for more predictable sunshine. Hikers should check trail conditions beforehand. Kauai's Kalalau Trail can get dangerously muddy fast. Families planning to visit Haleakala for sunrise should prepare for chilly temperatures that can drop in the 30s, even in the summer. Another thing to keep in mind is seasonal weather shifts. Winter months bring bigger waves and more rain, especially on north and east-facing shores, while summers tend to be drier and better for snorkeling. If you're visiting in December through February, expect short rain showers, even in typically dry areas like Waikoloa on the Big Island. My pro tip is to always check for weather conditions in specific areas of the island you're visiting. Bring a light rain jacket and embrace the occasional showers. They're part of what makes Hawaii's landscapes so lush and beautiful. Myth number 2, Honolulu is on the Big Island. This one confuses so many first-time visitors. Honolulu is actually on Oahu, not the Big Island. The Big Island's actual name is Hawaii Island, but because people kept getting confused, it's now referred to as the Big Island. Meanwhile, Honolulu is Oahu's main city. It's where you'll find Waikiki Beach, Pearl Harbor, and Diamond Head. The Big Island, on the other hand, is home to Hawaii Volcanoes National Park, black sand beaches, and Mauna Kea, the tallest mountain in the world from base to summit. If you book a flight to Hilo or Kona, thinking you're going to see Waikiki, you're going to have a very different trip than expected. Even though Oahu and the Big Island are in the same state, they feel completely different. Oahu is bustling, urban, and known for its nightlife and shopping, while the Big Island is more rugged and great for outdoor adventurers who want to explore lava fields, waterfalls, and stargazing spots. Families and couples who want resort vibes and lots of dining options usually prefer Oahu, while those looking for adventure and nature-focused experiences may love the Big Island. If you're traveling with a group, make sure everyone understands which island you're visiting. It's a surprisingly easy mistake to make. My pro tip, before you book flights or hotels, double-check which island you're actually visiting. Each one is unique, and choosing the right one can make or break your trip. Myth number 3, all beaches have white sand. Many first-time visitors picture Hawaii as having only white sand beaches, but Hawaii's beaches come in all colors. On the Big Island, you can visit Punalu'u Beach, a famous black sand beach created from the volcanic lava, where you'll often spot Hawaiian green sea turtles basking on the shore. There's also Papakolea Beach, which is one of the only 4 green sand beaches in the world, thanks to the presence of olivine crystals from an eroded cinder cone. If you're on Maui, make time for Kaihalulu Beach, a hidden red sand beach near Hana that gets its striking color from crumbled lava rock. Over on Kauai, you'll find glass beaches, where years of ocean waves have smoothed colorful glass fragments into tiny, polished pebbles. Even white sand beaches in Hawaii vary. Some have powdery soft sand, while others, like Lanikai Beach on Oahu, are so fine they feel like walking on flour. On the Big Island, some white sand beaches, like Hapuna Beach, are actually made up of crushed coral and seashells, giving them a unique texture. Each island offers a different beach experience. Some beaches have calm, clear waters perfect for swimming, while others have rough waves great for surfing or dramatic coastlines meant for sightseeing rather than sunbathing. Exploring beyond resort beaches can lead to some of the most unforgettable shoreline experiences in the world. My pro tip is if you want variety, Explore beyond the resort beaches. You'll find some of the most unique shorelines in the world, from black, green, and red sand beaches to hidden coves with breathtaking views. Myth number 4, U.S. citizens need a passport to visit. Nope, Hawaii is the 50th state, so if you're a U.S. citizen flying from another U.S. state or territory, you do not need a passport to visit. However, as of May 2025, the Real ID Act is now in effect. That means you must have a Real ID compliant driver's license or state-issued ID to board any domestic flight, including flights to Hawaii. Look for the star in the upper corner of your ID or check with your state's DMV to confirm compliance. If your ID isn't compliant, you will need to bring a valid passport instead. And if you're visiting from outside the U.S., like Canada, Australia, or Japan, you will need a valid passport and possibly a visa depending on your country of origin. Hawaii has direct international flights to Honolulu, which is on Oahu, Kahului on Maui, and Kona on the Big Island, so make sure that you're all set before heading to the islands. Another thing to keep in mind is that inter-island flights do not require a passport for U.S. travelers either. You just need your regular ID. But if you're planning to visit another country after Hawaii, like Tahiti or Japan, you'll definitely need your passport on hand. So my pro tip is to bring a Real ID compliant, government-issued ID. If you plan to rent a car or book excursions, having proper identification is essential. Myth number 5, Hawaii is overrun by tourists year-round. Hawaii is a popular destination, but it's not always packed with tourists. It depends on when and where you go. The busiest times are during summer, which is June to August, winter holidays, which are mid-December to early January, and spring break, which is March to April, when families, honeymooners, and international travelers flock to the islands. During these peak times, you'll find crowded beaches, higher hotel rates, and busier attractions, especially in places like Waikiki on Oahu, Ka'anapali on Maui, and Poipu on Kauai. But if you visit during the shoulder season, which is mid-April to early June or September to mid-November, you'll enjoy fewer crowds, better hotel rates, and more relaxed island vibes. These months are perfect for honeymooners looking for peace and quiet, solo travelers wanting a more immersive experience, or families hoping to avoid long waits at popular attractions. Even in peak season, there are plenty of ways to escape the crowds. For example, instead of spending the day at Waikiki Beach, head to Lanikai Beach early in the morning for a peaceful swim. Rather than hiking Diamond Head at midday, opt for a sunrise trek at Makapu'u Lighthouse Trail for spectacular views without the crowds. On Maui, swap out Ka'anapali Beach for the more secluded Honolulu Bay for snorkeling. My pro tip is even during busy months, you can find quiet, hidden gems by exploring early in the morning, choosing off-the-beaten-path locations, or visiting attractions on weekdays instead of weekends. All right, myth number 6, everyone in Hawaii can surf. Surfing is a huge part of Hawaiian culture, and Hawaii is home to some of the world's best waves, but not every local is a surfer. It's a challenging sport that requires balance, strength, and years of practice. While some kids grow up surfing from a young age, many locals prefer other ocean activities like canoe paddling, bodyboarding, or simply relaxing at the beach. Even in Hawaii, surfing isn't for everyone. If you're a beginner looking to try surfing, Oahu's Waikiki Beach and Maui's Ka'anapali area are two of the best spots to start. These have gentle waves, sandy bottoms, and plenty of surf schools that will teach you proper techniques and etiquette. Just remember, surfing has rules. Always respect the lineup, wait your turn, and stay out of the way of more experienced surfers. Locals take their waves seriously, especially at advanced spots like Pipeline on Oahu's North Shore or Jaws on Maui, where only the pros should surf. My pro tip is if surfing isn't your thing, don't worry. Stand-up paddleboarding, which is also called SUP, kayaking, and outrigger canoeing offer a fun and much easier way to enjoy Hawaii's beautiful waters while still feeling connected to its ocean culture. Okay, myth number 7, all luau's are the same. No, luau's vary a lot in terms of food, atmosphere, and authenticity, so it's important to pick one that matches your travel style. Some luau's focus on authentic Hawaiian traditions, while others cater more to tourists with flashy performances. If you're looking for a historically accurate experience, the Old Lahaina Luau on Maui is one of the most traditional, with hula performances that follow Hawaiian history rather than incorporating other Polynesian influences. For couples, the feast at Mokopu on Maui is a romantic, intimate experience with private tables and a multi-course meal inspired by different Polynesian cultures. A perfect date night. Families, on the other hand, will love Toa Luau on Oahu or Smith Family Garden Luau on Kauai. both of which offer fun, interactive activities like hula lessons, coconut husking, and imu, which is the underground oven, demonstrations. If you're traveling with a group or want an extra immersive experience, consider luaus that allow for VIP seating or backstage cultural experiences where you can meet the performers. And if you're a solo traveler, luaus like Chief's Luau on Oahu or Jermaine's Luau offer a lively, social atmosphere where you can sit with fellow travelers and make new friends. My pro tip is to book early. The best luaus sell out weeks in advance, especially during peak travel seasons. If you're celebrating a special occasion, like a honeymoon or anniversary, make a note in your reservation. You might get a special lay greeting or a shout out during the show. Okay, myth number 8. Hawaii grows the most pineapples in the world. Not anymore. Hawaii used to be a major pineapple producer, but today, most pineapples come from the Philippines, Costa Rica, and Thailand. In fact, Hawaii's commercial pineapple industry declined significantly in the late 20th century due to high production costs, and now only a few farms continue growing them on a smaller scale. That said, Hawaii is still famous for its incredibly sweet, fresh pineapples, and you can tour active pineapple farms to learn about the island's agricultural history. If you're on Maui, check out the Maui Gold Pineapple Farm Tour, where you'll see how pineapples are grown and even taste one fresh from the field. It's a whole different experience compared to store-bought ones. On Oahu, many visitors stop by the Dole Plantation, which has a pineapple maze, train rides, and fun family-friendly activities. While it's more of a tourist attraction than an active farm, it's still a fun way to learn about Hawaii's pineapple heritage. But if you want a more interesting experience, head across the street to their actual pineapple farm. You can do a tour, and it's super amazing. Another fun fact, Hawaii is one of the few places where pineapples continue to ripen on the plant, which is why they taste so much sweeter than pineapples harvested early for overseas shipping. My pro tip is if you want to bring a pineapple home, buy one pre-approved at the airport or at select farm stands, which have agriculture-approved packaging, so you can carry it onto your flight without any issues. Myth number 9, it's safe to take lava rocks as souvenirs. No! Many people believe in Pele's curse, a Hawaiian legend that warns bad luck will follow anyone who removes lava rocks from the islands. Over the years, thousands of visitors who took lava rocks have reportedly experienced streaks of misfortune, from car accidents to financial troubles, and have mailed the rocks back in hopes of lifting the curse. Even if you don't believe the superstition, it's actually illegal to take lava rocks from Hawaii Volcanoes National Park and other protected areas. The state takes conservation seriously, and removing natural elements disrupts the delicate ecosystem. If you want a unique keepsake, consider purchasing locally made lava rock jewelry or artwork, which supports Hawaiian artisans and ensures you're not harming the environment. You can find these at local markets, craft fairs, and shops that sell ethically sourced Hawaiian souvenirs. My pro tip is if you accidentally took a lava rock, mail it back. Hawaiian post offices regularly receive packages from visitors returning rocks in hopes of undoing bad luck. If you need to return one, you can send it to Hawaii Volcanoes National Park. Rangers often return them to nature. Okay, myth number 10. Hawaii is just for beach vacations. Hawaii is so much more than beaches. While the islands are famous for their stunning coastlines, there's a whole world beyond the sand and surf. You can go hiking through lush rainforests, stargaze from Mauna Kea on the Big Island, explore lava tubes at Hawaii Volcanoes National Park, or even kayak to hidden sea caves along the Napali coast on Kauai. If you love history and culture, visit Iolani Palace in Honolulu, the only royal palace in the United States, or spend an afternoon at the Bishop Museum to learn about Polynesian voyaging and Hawaiian traditions. Food lovers can dive into the local food scene by joining a Hawaiian food tour, where you'll taste malasas, poke, and loco moco while learning about the island's unique culinary history. In the winter, Hawaii transforms into one of the best whale-watching destinations in the world, especially in Maui's Au Channel, where thousands of humpback whales migrate to breed. Adventure seekers can also zipline over tropical valleys, go UTV riding through Hollywood movie sets at Kuloa Ranch, or try a sunset summit experience at Haleakala, a moment that many describe as life-changing. My pro tip is don't limit yourself to just the beach. Make time for outdoor adventures, cultural experiences, and scenic explorations. You'll leave Hawaii with a much deeper appreciation for everything the islands have to offer. All right, myth number 11. There's a ferry that connects all the islands. One of the most common questions I hear is, can I just take a ferry between the islands? The answer? Nope. Unlike in some other island destinations, Hawaii does not have an inter-island ferry system. The only exception is the ferry between Maui and Lanai, but if you're trying to hop from Oahu to the Big Island, you'll need to book a flight. In the past, Hawaii briefly had an inter-island ferry, the Hawaii Super Ferry, but it was shut down in 2009 due to legal and environmental concerns. While the idea sounds convenient, the distances between islands are much greater than people realize, and the ocean conditions can be extremely rough, not ideal for a casual boat ride. So there is not a ferry that goes between all the Hawaiian Islands. That is misinformation. My pro tip is if you want to island hop, your best bet is to fly. Hawaiian Airlines and Southwest Airlines both offer quick inter-island flights, and if you book early, they're usually pretty affordable. Myth number 12, you can see every island from the top of Diamond Head. Wouldn't it be amazing if you could just hike up Diamond Head on Oahu and see every single Hawaiian island? Unfortunately, that's not how geography works. While the view is stunning, you'll only be able to see some of Oahu's coastline and, on a clear day, parts of nearby islands like Molokai and Maui. Hawaii's islands are spread out over 1,500 miles, meaning you're not going to catch a glimpse of the Big Island while standing on a crater in Honolulu. If you really want a bird's eye view of the islands, consider booking a scenic flight or helicopter tour. It's an unforgettable experience. My pro tip is don't trust those social media posts claiming you can see all the islands from one spot. Those are either photoshopped, AI, or taken from an airplane window. Myth number 13. There are no snakes in Hawaii. Okay, this myth is half true. Hawaii does not have wild snakes slithering around like in Australia, but it's not completely snake-free either. In fact, Hawaii has a tiny worm-like snake called the Brahmini blind snake, which looks more like a shoelace than a scary predator. There have also been rare sightings of escaped pet snakes like ball pythons and boa constrictors, which are illegal in Hawaii. If you get caught smuggling in a snake, you could face hefty fines and jail time. Hawaii takes invasive species very seriously. My pro tip is if someone tells you Hawaii has absolutely zero snakes, they're mostly right. But if you see a suspicious-looking worm wriggling around, it might be one of the tiniest snakes in the world. All right, myth number 14. Coconuts randomly fall and knock people out all the time. Okay, we've all seen those movies where someone gets whacked on the head by a falling coconut. But does it actually happen? Well, technically yes, but not as often as you'd think. While coconuts can fall from the trees and have caused injuries in rare cases, most resorts and public parks take precautions by regularly trimming trees and removing heavy coconuts before they become a hazard. So, while it's not a bad idea to avoid standing directly under a coconut tree for too long, you're way more likely to get sunburned than bonked by a coconut. So my pro tip is if you want to enjoy a coconut in Hawaii, buy a fresh one at a farmer's market instead of waiting for one to fall out of the sky. All right, myth number 15. Tiki culture comes from ancient Hawaiians. This is a big misconception. The whole tiki bar culture is actually a modern invention, not an ancient Hawaiian tradition. The Polynesian-style tiki bars and restaurants that became popular in the U.S. during the 1940s and 50s were inspired by elements of Polynesian culture, but they are not authentic Hawaiian traditions. Ancient Hawaiians did carve ki'i, which are Hawaiian statues, but these represented gods and were used in temples, not for decorating beachside cocktail bars. While Mai Tais and Blue Hawaiians are delicious, they're not traditional Hawaiian drinks either. They were actually created by bartenders in California and Waikiki. My pro tip is if you want an authentic cultural experience, visit places like Bishop Museum, Pu'uhonua o Hanaunau National Historic Park, or a real Hawaiian luau to learn about Hawaii's rich traditions beyond the tiki bar aesthetic. And there you have it, 15 myths about Hawaii busted. Avoiding these misconceptions will help you travel smarter, make the most of your trip, and experience Hawaii like a pro. If you want accurate, up-to-date travel advice, check out my Hawaii travel guides and itineraries. They're packed with insider tips, detailed activity suggestions, and must-know planning info to help you avoid common mistakes and plan your perfect Hawaii trip. You can find them in the show notes or visit hawaiitravelwithkids.com to get your copy today. If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe, leave a review, and share it with a fellow traveler. And join my Patreon community for as low as $5 a month to gain access to my top Hawaii travel planning resources. Mahalo for tuning in, and I'll see you in the next episode. Aloha.